Hi everyone, I'm Megan, and welcome back to another lab video for Analytics and Decision Sciences 4293 Professional Analytics. In this lab, I will be investigating the graphical user interface, focusing on option buttons and the combo box. This is part 2 of 2 videos related to the graphical user interface, so I recommend that you watch part 1 before this video. I based the material presented today off of VBA for Modelers, the 5th edition by Christian Albright, and Ivey case 9B11E020 by Dennis Lee, which you can find on Ivey Publishing through the link provided below. Please open Excel and follow along as we get started.
In part 1 of this video, we talked about some control objects, namely the command button, label, and text box. So in this video, we're going to move on to a few more control objects. So now we're going to talk about option buttons. So they allow a user to choose from a number of different options, and by default, when we select one, the others are automatically deselected. So if you want to have the option to have multiple buttons selected at once, I recommend using checkboxes instead, which are very similar to option buttons, but they allow for multiple selections rather than just one selection. So option buttons take on Boolean values, therefore they are either true when selected or false when deselected. So we are going to make an option button that has 2 options as well as a command button to run what we want. So we're gonna delete our text box here, and then using our toolbox, we are going to add an option button, which is the circular one, and then we are going to add a second option button. So as you can see, option button 1 is labeled option button 1 and also has the caption option button 1, and the second option button is just named option button 2 and then has a caption of option button 2 as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to name the first option button. We're going to name this Apple, let's call it Apple option. And then we are going to caption it as Apple. Oh, sorry, I was on the second one. That's my bad. And then for the first one, we'll call that pomegranate option. And then we will caption it as pomegranate. So now we're going to keep the command button captioned as show text, because we are going to create a message box that gives us the caption depending on which of the 2 option buttons are selected. So if we go to view code, we can delete the code from the previous example in our command button. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if Apple option, which is the name of our second command, or our second option button, we're going to say if that value is true, which is automatic, then we are going to give a message box where our Apple option caption is the output. And then we are going to say else if our pomegranate option value is true, which is the default, then we're going to get a message box with our pomegranate option caption as the output. And then if neither of them are clicked, we are going to have a message box that says nothing was selected. So we can run this user form, and we can see that there are two options that we can choose from. We can choose pomegranate, or we can choose apple. So we'll choose pomegranate first, and then, okay, I forgot my end statement here, so I have to write and if, so now we can run our user form again. So now if I try to select pomegranate, it should work. So we get the message box with the word pomegranate, and then if I select apple instead, we can see that the word apple comes up, which is our caption. And then if none of these are selected, we can see that nothing was selected as our pop-up in the message box here. The last control object that we will talk about in this video is a combo box. This allows users to choose options from a drop-down menu, and by default, the combo box contains no values, and we must add them using VBA. So to do this, we can use the activate event to add values into user form 1. So first, we're going to add in our combo box, and then to add our values, we are going to right-click and view our code. So we can see that our sub that is automatically given here is click, but instead we want to use _ activate. So what's going to happen here is when we activate our user form, we want the combo box to have two different items in it, apple and pomegranate. So to do this, we are going to write combo box 1, which is the name of our combo box, and then we are going to add an item, and we are going to title that item apple. Then we are going to add another item, and we are going to title this one pomegranate. So that's all we have to do to add some values into our user form. So if we want to run this, we can see that we get our user form, and then within the drop-down we have apple and pomegranate. So now what we're going to do is we are going to program our command button to change the background color of our user form. So before we do this, I'm going to select our command button, and I'm going to change the title, or the caption, sorry, to change background color. So as you can see up here in our user form, the command button is not big enough to show all of this text, so we can just make it a little bit bigger and then recenter it to show the entire caption of change background color. So now what we're going to do is we are going to view our code, and we are going to write a private sub that occurs when our command button 1 is clicked. So we're going to write command button 1 _ click. So if this happens, there's going to be 3 different scenarios when we click our command button. So either the combo box value is going to be apple, pomegranate, or nothing is going to be selected. So we're going to have to change the color for each of these scenarios. So to do this, we're going to write an if statement. So if our combo box 1 value is equal to apple, then we are going to have our user form 1, the name of that, and we're going to change the property back color. And we're going to set this equal to VB blue. So if we select the value of apple from the combo box, and then we hit our command button, we expect that the background color is going to change to blue. So another scenario we have is going to be if our combo box 1 value is equal to pomegranate. Sorry, this should be else if, my bad, not just else. Then we need our then at the end of that. So if this is true, then we are going to have our user form, and we are going to change the back color equal to VB red. And then our last scenario is going to be else our user form 1, the background color is going to be equal to VB yellow. Oh gosh. And then we are going to end our if statement. So when we run this user form, we can see our user form pop up and we can change our background color. So if we select apple, we can see that the background color changes to blue. If we select pomegranate, background color changes to red. And if we get out of that and run it again with nothing selected, it should change to yellow, but that is not working. So let's investigate. We view our code. That's why this needs to be back color. That's my bad, I didn't arrow down enough. So if we run this again, we change our background color. Oh wow, I am having issues today, I apologize. So, if we try to run this again one last time, and we change our background color with nothing in it, it changes to yellow, which is what we wanted. So obviously I had a few little issues there, but that's all a part of coding, is we're going to have to debug because not everything is going to be perfect when we write it. So sorry about the little hiccup there I had, but that is how we can use the graphical user interface and the various control objects that we have within it.
I hope the material presented on the graphical user interface is useful when using VBA for decision modeling. If you liked this video, please leave a like and comment, as well as subscribe to our channel. We have more content related to VBA for decision modeling in our playlist, so if you're interested in more videos, check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!